Cans are added to the conveyor belt by hand. This leads them to a single file line where they are flipped and rinsed and flipped back to the upright position. They are purged with CO2 to make sure no water gets in the beer. A nozzle then fills the cans to the top. The same machine adds a lid and lifts the can, spinning it as it folds the lip of the lid onto the can.
Come around, see when it comes off and full. Right before it gets the lid on it, CO2 will hit it again, put a lid on it, steam it.
That's crazy.
Pretty wild machine.
I mean, that's pretty cool. You don't get to see this. A lot of bigger companies and stuff like that, or they do have it on TV or whatever. It's like, you know,
Yeah, behind the scenes.
that's pretty cool.
Next, the cans are rinsed and go down the lines to Temblor employees like Chris from NAPD's work program. These employees hand-pack the cans, checking for defects, and putting them on pallets. Temblor was kind enough to let us interview their employees. First, we have the head brewmeister, Justin.
First year we produced 0 cans.
0 cans.
Yeah, nothing got canned the first year. All of it was going into kegs. Towards the end of the first year that we were open, we started bottling a few products. And then I believe it was mid-second year when cans of beer actually started to come into style. Because before that, cans of beer were only being done by Coors Light, Anheuser-Busch products, stuff like that. It was only
So
the big major brands that were doing cans. And then it was about 4 years ago that craft beer really started getting into cans, and it was a great move because cans keep beer fresher. You can keep it for a little bit longer. Light gets through bottles, and it can skunk your beer, it can turn your beer bad. And craft beer is also going towards cans because you can take them out hiking with you, and once you drink it, you can kind of crush it, put it in your backpack, and hike it back out too. It's a lot more compact than taking heavy glass bottles with you. So yeah, it's been about 4 years now that we started actually canning.
What is the most cans that you think you guys have done
In 1 year cans, I would, just a very rough guess, would be, total cans would be probably 15,000 cans. 50, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of cans.
Yeah, yeah.
And in that, you guys still do bottles and kegs. How many of those in a year do you do?
Total this year, we're going to do about 2,000 barrels of beer. And a barrel of beer is 31 gallons of beer. So we're going to do, this year, we're slated to do about 2,000.
So, in this year alone, how many different beers did you guys produce?
That's a hard question to answer because this year we kind of moved to a different brewing style. Before we were making our 6 headliner beers, and then we had just a handful of seasonal beers that we would produce throughout the year. And this year we kind of moved to a different branding style where we are producing a lot of different kind of beers, basically one-off beers, and selling it to the public. I'm guessing right now we're at probably 25 or 30 different beers for this year so far.
25 or 30
Yeah.
different beers.
Yeah, it's basically during the summer, during the really busy beer season, we were coming out with a new beer almost every week.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So going off of that, summer would be your busiest time
Yeah, yeah,
because of all the barbecues and all that stuff going on,
Exactly.
probably, right?
yeah.
What is your most popular beer? As of right now, your top 3 most popular beers that you're selling.
Yeah, Streets of Bakersfield, which is our West Coast IPA. It's one of the headliners, something we've had since opening day. That one is consistently our top seller every single month. Our second would be Under a Blood Orange Sky, which is a Belgian style wit. And that's typically the second beer most sold every month. Third, I would say, is Kern County Premium. It's the premium light lager that we have. It's the lightest beer that we make, the easiest drinking beer, the best beer to take with you, on a golf course or if you're swimming in a pool. And then the fourth beer, I would say, is kind of a rotational beer. It's one of the new beers that we come out with. Typically, for the first month that we come out with a new beer, it's the hottest beer, and then that kind of dies down, and then the next beer we come out with is that in that fourth spot.
Oh wow. So it's, as some people would say, it's the height
Yes.
of
yeah.
having that new product, something they want to try.
Yeah, for sure.
So my last question for you today, what is your favorite part about working here at Temblor?
I would say it's probably the basically craft brewing community that you're involved with. It's kind of like a family. You get to come to work, and there's great people that work here. And then if I ever have any questions or we're short some kind of a grain for a beer, I can call one of the other breweries in town and go over and pick it up and bring it over, and they do the same thing. Whenever they, are short something, they come over, and just the whole craft brewing community, we're not really in competition with each other, so everybody is friends in this community. It's a great, big craft beer family, basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
All right, Justin, thank you for giving us your time,
no problem.
and thank you for allowing us to interview.
Yeah, great.
Next, we interviewed Chris, who is a part of the packaging department as a packaging technician. All right, so we're here with Chris. Chris, you've been working at Temblor for how long again?
About a year.
About a year?
I'm pretty sure I'm about to hit my second.
About to hit your second, so almost 2 years.
Almost two.
There you go. So, you said you started off in Canyon, and then you moved where?
Unfortunately, Chris's interview was lost to severe and unexpected technical difficulties. We apologize that we couldn't show the entire interview because of this reason. We are still grateful, however, to the Temblor family and to Chris and to Jonathan for their time.